It's been an interesting few weeks. It's been an interesting time. It's been an interesting journey. And I have to say that more and more, clarity and alignment is furthering evolution at a rate that is unprecedented. I feel like now more and more victim consciousness is in the rear view. That anywhere where victim consciousness had taken up residence within any member of this community, that it's in the rearview mirror. Because I feel like it's a false narrative that keeps you in victim consciousness in the first place. So when I look at an individual's liberation from suffering or from bondage, it's really not that complicated, because when you actually examine what keeps you tethered to suffering, limitation, and bondage, it's a lie. It's a lie that keeps you tethered to that reality. So when you begin to uncover the lie and step out of the illusion, naturally the suffering falls away. That suffering falling away, it begins to create an opening inside of you for more light. That's why I had my sunglasses on this morning. For more light, for more presence. Oh, it's just bright. It creates an opening inside of you for so much light that you have to go and buy a pair of sunglasses over the weekend, even though you've never worn sunglasses in your life. God is scorching your eyeballs with the light. So we're at an inflection point where suffering's in the rear view. But what are we moving toward? What we're moving toward is a promised land. Light, love, harmony, peace, expansion in every single area. And honestly, and I'm going to say this, and this isn't to invalidate anyone's journey, but a singular moment of your life wasted in suffering is a waste of your life. So I feel as though it boils down to one thing and one thing alone: letting go of the lie, no longer perpetuating the illusion, no longer feeding it your energy. You know, I promise you something. This is all just going to end in a blip one day. Yeah? So how about we start to get to a place inside of ourselves where we just disengage from everything that isn't aligned, from everything that isn't true? Because I'll tell you, no matter what you're going through in this moment, if you think for one moment that something is happening other than what's meant to be happening, come on now. You want to be empowered, you want to be realized, you want to be enlightened, that's it right there. It's being accountable and responsible for everything, being the source and the cause of all, because in that moment there's no longer any separation. There's no external identity, authority, or power doing anything to you. You're doing it to yourself. This is how we find freedom. This is how we find freedom. By realizing, wait a minute, this whole thing is my construct. This whole thing is my construct. This whole thing. So what am I going to do? Be impacted by it and be down by it and allow it to diminish my vibration? And continue to dwell in that frequency? And continue to dwell in that way of being? Or am I finally going to say, you know what? Wait a minute. I'm not a victim here. I don't care what I've gone through. I'm not a victim. I'm not a victim. I chose it all. I chose everything. I chose my parents. I chose the story. I chose everything. And the funny thing is that this is what I've been trying to share for the last 2 weeks. And it always meets with this egoic rebellion. And the egoic rebellion has been showing up in so many different ways. But you know what? It doesn't matter. Because the more you see the facade of yourself, the more you can't help but align with the truth of your being. Your ego is on the ropes, and 80s Mike Tyson is about to knock that ego out, man. Mama said knock you out. Mother Divine said knock you out. Mike Tyson's about to knock that ego out. Just keeps getting up. Mike Tyson just keeps smacking it down. That's what's going to go on here.